Hello and welcome. Instead of buying $100 million home you'll see in the description, we're looking for $2 million homes in all 50 states. So this time we're in Michigan. So here we go. This one is in kind of Detroit, so real close to downtown, not too far. It's a 1922 Gothic revival, and it was just a good, interesting house to start with. Um, Gorgeous wood interiors uh, throughout the house, and I guess I just like the old. They still have like the original um, stereo system for the whole deal, which I just thought was really a nice touch that they kept that. So, oh yeah, here we go. For all you vinyl people, they even have the built-in record player, which is just awesome. But overall, it's a good house, but the kitchen is a little dated. Um, I mean, that's it. That's the kitchen. So yeah, it's like they kind of only got so far on the remodel. I like the stove, but the rest of it needs some work. So it's a good start, but in the city with not much land, and the rest of it's a little bit plain. Moving on. So this one, and by the way, all these houses are there's links to them in the description. They may be sold by the time you see them. So after they're sold, you don't quite see as many pictures. It just depends on how they do it. So this one is on Lake Michigan, so the southwest side of Michigan, and this one is actually lakefront property. Has a very small little beach area, but they looks like they remodeled it recently, so it has a good view. The only thing is, it probably gets really cold in the winter. But I like the interiors. I like what they did with it. They have a billiards room with a bar downstairs, which is a nice touch. Has a pretty good view. Uh, no pool or anything, but not too far from the beach. And I think this one was just not a very big. Yeah, so it was a very limited little beachfront, so you can't go like walking for miles. So anyway, so here this one is located up in the Upper Peninsula, way over there. You're actually closer to Green Bay than anything else. So this one is also along the lake, but it has like a separate nice garage area and lots of balconies looking out over the water, so that's really cool. They have a little bit of a dock just for mainly looks like the jet skis. It's a fun play area. The kitchen. The best part, I kept like thinking, oh, this is okay, but this is the best part. This is I've not seen anything even close to this. I mean, this is just awesome. Such a commitment to having something different. I just love, 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 love it. So if you see nothing else from this video, this is cool. So they should just say that in the video, that you will not see a cooler pool table. Just does not exist. The rest of the house is alright, but it's just so out of the way, it's almost too far out of the way, if you know what I mean. But I do like the big garage area, so very cool. Moving on. So this house is located as a northern suburb of Detroit, and it's 10,000 square feet. It's just such a solid big home. It has, you know, this is looking back into the front door, and it just has a very great for entertaining kind of big party atmosphere. Little sidebars, and you know, a nice big kitchen, another sitting area, and another sitting area. So there's just plenty of areas to entertain or eat or have the family around. Just overall, it got a little bit lower just because it didn't have. It was good at what it did, but it didn't have anything just spectacular that you don't see elsewhere. Like the downstairs was okay. It wasn't bad, and it's got a sauna, so that's nice. But no indoor outdoor pool, so that was a little bit disappointing. But it is a private neighborhood. Moving on. So this one I liked a lot on the design. It was also in just a little bit out of Detroit proper, but it just had a very modern interior to it, an open design with very modern feel to everything, from the lighting fixtures to just the flooring. I really liked it, and the kitchen. And I'm sure that stove costs more than my car, so that's just awesome. But and I even like that the shower the shower didn't have just your plain brass fixtures. So I just liked all the little touches they put into this house. And I think they had yeah, they had like a half court indoor basketball court. So that's pretty cool. Something to do in the winter. For sure, because it gets cold up there. Moving on to the next house. This one is located, again, just north of Detroit. And it has. This one was cool because it backed up. At the very back of it was this Paint Creek Trail. And I'm not sure exactly, but it kind of looks like a rails to trail situation. So it would be nice to have access to something like that where you can go walking or biking and for miles and miles. And it had a creek which passed through the property too, and a little pond. So all that was very nice and very relaxing. It had a pool in this little area where you can you can like sit here and kind of belly up to the bar, if you will, which was really cool. And I had a slide, and so it was I think somewhere they have a hot tub too. So it was just the table was interesting, but the interior was a bit dated. When was this made? Yeah, 79. So some of it on the inside could use some updating, but I like the outdoor quite a bit. And also being up next to that trail would be really cool. Moving on. So this house is located, let's see, in the northwest suburb of Detroit. And it had, so the house outside, you look at this and you think it's, really modern, really chic. But the inside just doesn't match it. But the land was so cool. The land, I think there's 80 acres? Yeah, 80 acres, and they're really cool acres too. That's the thing, is that you had, a pool outside, but you have this, it's like a playground, and you have like this little creek, and there's an island in the creek, and this bridge that goes over to the island, and it was just a nice whole kind of compound-like feel. The inside, I don't like this. It just makes it feel lower than what it actually is. It kind of would have been better if this whole space was opened up some, and it just seems dark in here, and whoever took the pictures didn't do a great job, because it might show a lot better in person, but it just kind of has some issues. And rich people love to bathe in front of the window, so there you go, bathe away, we're looking at you. So it's just, and it had a huge barn, so and a horse barn, and so it had plenty of great land. It's just that the house itself wasn't quite there. Moving on, so this one was pretty cool because it was also waterfront property, and what I liked about this one was it was on Lake Huron up here, so you had access to the lake. You could get down to Detroit an hour, but you could also get over to Buffalo in 3.5 hours, or Toronto in 3.5 hours. So it's not terribly close, but you also have options of going to different places. Plus, you're on the lake, so it was an interesting location. In addition to this 3-car garage, it also had a separate. Did they have a separate garage area? I'm not sure, but this. So the houses were kind of close together. That was kind of the only knock about it, is that you did have a string of houses that were all pretty close together. So you don't, have the privacy of the last house, but you did have beachfront access. And the inside was, I think, let's see when it was built. I want to say 2007. Yeah. So that the housing right before the housing boom. And I can't decide about this kitchen was kind of all over the place. So it was just a weird design on the kitchen, the way it opened up away from the cooking area. And I don't know. So it had space, but at the same time, the cabinets were really close to you, so you'd have to work to get stuff. So I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting design too. It was a little bit all over the place. It did have an elevator, so that is good. Something you don't need to, you really need it. But some good views of the water and the lake. And it's just it did have a ping pong table, so always gets in consideration. But it did have this weird, funky indoor pool, and it almost seems like an afterthought, like just like, hey, we have this. My wife's okay. It's just shoving a little indoor pool here. So, but that's cool. You know, in the winter up in cold Michigan, this would be a great thing. So, has a little changing area to the side, and I'm not sure what that is in the back, like a really small hot tub. I don't know, but yeah. So it's just kind of a funky indoor pool. Moving on is so this was a really nice. And if someone's like, "Why don't you like this house? Why isn't this number one?" I can't argue with you, because it is located over here on the western suburb of Detroit, and so it's close to Ann Arbor too. So if you're a Michigan fan, this would be a great house. And it had a great outdoor pool and hot tub, but it's Michigan, so how many months are you going to use it? Maybe use it more than I think, but it just seems like you wouldn't get to use it that much. But the inside, it was just a solid house all the way around. I like the kitchen. I like the layout of the kitchen. I like the island, and it had eating all around the island, or this little table here. And well, if you did have to do dishes, you have all the windows here, so it was a good deal. Even the laundry was a pleasant area. I mean, that's just, you don't see that in a laundry room. Usually they're total afterthoughts. And I really don't like wallpaper, but this does not offend me. So they did a good job um, with all the different rooms and the designing, and I like the color. It's so overall. So they have like an entertainment, but this house really shines with the basement, because you have that big screening room. You have this area. I love bubble hockey. You have a poker table. You have a pool table. You'll see in a second. I think I saw a dartboard in the back. There's a fridge downstairs. It just was TVs, multiple places. You have this kind of fancy eating table that people can just hang out. You have like this bar area that's all shiny and fancy with TVs up here, and it's just a really fun, entertaining area. This is the theater room, which has like doors that can slide close. It has like this private little table back here, so it's almost like you have your own club downstairs, and a sauna, and a bathroom right across from the sauna, so, and a shower. So it was just a really strong house. And then the outside, it was a great layout. It's just, in the cold, how often are you going to get to use it? I don't know. Now, you don't have a lot of room, and you're kind of next to your neighbors, but they all have big, fancy houses, so they're not going outside either. So I guess that's a good thing. So the one that I liked the best was this guy. It was located just shy of the Indiana border, just north of South Bend, Indiana. So you're close to the Michigan Dunes and the Indiana Dunes, and you're 2 hours away from Chicago. Bit of a haul away from Detroit. So, let's see. But it did have 12,000 square feet of space, which I think was pretty substantial. Which I think they probably kind of fudged that a little, because they probably include, the Saint has a full-size basketball court, so they might include that too. I'm not sure. But the inside is the outside, it looks very much like a barn, but the inside is remodeled and clean, and a little bit whitewashed, but I like the wood accents. And what kind of just held the whole thing together for me is they do have a full court basketball court that you can also play volleyball in, or pickleball, or whatever. So I just like the idea of having your own gym. It's just really cool. And then it also had your air hockey, your foosball, your ping pong, your workout. It was just a great entertainment setup. Oh, and it also has an indoor pool, a much nicer indoor pool setup, and it has this areas on the side of the indoor pool, so people can, you can have all your family playing, and you got this big TV that you all can hang out and talk. And over here is a restroom, just right next to it. And there's around the corner, there's this little kitchenette area, so you could just have the whole family in here on this area, and little side rooms. And it was just if you had to pick a family compound to get away from it all, especially in a pandemic, I think this did a great job. So it had a covered outdoor area, which I really liked, and then it had huge barns. So bless you. And it had 30 acres. So I think it said on there there's like at least a mile walking trail that you could do, that you could probably make much longer if you so wanted to. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Michigan was pretty good. So we will move on, and take care. Have a good day or night wherever you are.